Here, and today we're gonna be talking about Dragon Ball Super and Battle of Gods, the movie. And I'm gonna be doing my comparison between Battle of Gods and Battle of Gods movie and the Battle of Gods saga and Super. And um, this is gonna be just telling you guys, it's gonna be longer than my usual videos. I know my usual videos are all like pretty much like 4-ish, 5-ish minute, but this one will be a little bit longer than my normal one. So just hang in there, guys. I know it'll be longer, but just hang in there. So yeah, first of all, I got to get this down. My first thought when I do these comparisons between Battle of Gods movie and saga, I've gotta say the Battle of Gods movie is not as good in my thought. In my opinion, the Battle of Gods saga is better than the Battle of Gods, but there are some things that are better done in the Battle of Gods movie. So that's why I'm doing this comparison. Overall, just telling you guys in the starting, Battle of Gods saga of Super is better overall, in my opinion. And you guys have to tell. I want you guys to tell me too. So yeah, remember that. So let's get on with this. First of all, I'm gonna tell you guys what I like better in Battle of Gods and what I like better in Battle of Gods saga. And what I like in Battle of Gods saga is, of course, the fight, but that's kind of like a lot of people could have. It was obvious that the Battle of Gods fighting was gonna be like better because this is a series. They have a lot of time to like make everything organized and just make the fight really good. It was kind of obvious. But anyways, I like the fight better, and that's kind of obvious. I really liked it, and remember, guys, I want you guys to tell too. And I like the fighting better in Battle of Gods saga in Super. The movie battle was pretty good too, but the movie is pretty good too. But I just gotta say, I just gotta say I like it better. I like the Super Saga better. Yeah, I'm just rambling on here. Sorry for that. And then what I like about Battle of Gods movie is better is that the Battle of Gods movie. Well, there's this one part, Vegeta. Yes, the Vegeta versus Beerus. When Vegeta goes like mad, the famous part of Battle of Gods where he's like, "My Bulma." Yeah, that part. That part. Everyone pretty much knows that. So, yeah, that part's what I like better in Battle of Gods. Of course, it hasn't come in English yet in Super, but still, from what I can tell so far, I'm not just talking about Vegeta saying "My Bulma." I'm also talking about the fight mainly, and between Beerus and Vegeta. And I gotta say, I like the fight. From what I saw, I like the fight in Battle of Gods better. I don't know if it's just me, but I thought the Battle of Gods Battle of Gods movie fight was a little bit more epic than the one in Super. I don't know if it's just me. I just like the way how Vegeta just powered up and everything just blowed up. I mean, not everything, but you saw all the rocks coming out of the ground. In Super you saw the power really good because you saw like everyone moving by the power. But I don't know why, I just thought Battle of Gods was epic anyways. And now I'm gonna go on to the parts what I now I'm gonna tell you guys what I don't like about Super. And one thing I do not sorry guys. Yeah, now I'm gonna tell you guys there's this other part that I really like, things that they added on that I really like. And one part that they added on that I really like is the part, I think it's episode 6 or 7 or maybe 5. I think it's 6 and 7, somewhere where Trunks and Goten come and they have a water gun and they're playing something and they just splash of water on Beerus. I just like that. I know that's not really what makes him go crazy and stuff. He does get mad, but then Vegeta saves the day, by his hilarious act. And yes, I really like what they did in Vegeta. Like what he does, he goes in the water and then he does that chef thingy where he takes a octopus out, and it's just funny. I actually like it better than the bingo dance. I don't know why, but I just like the chef thingy better. I don't know why. Vegeta I couldn't imagine. Whenever I imagine Vegeta as a chef, it's just funny. I like it better than the bingo dance. It's just me, guys. and that's what I like too. And I also like the Trunks and Goten splashing water on Beerus. I know that's not what it made him mad. And one more thing, adding on to that in this they made, I'm pretty sure all of you guys already like noticed this. They made Beerus more of a savage in this. Yes, Beerus was clearly seen as more of a savage in this. I don't know why, but I just liked it. It was just awesome, and I'm pretty sure a lot of you other fans like it. But dude, it was just awesome how they did made Beerus into a savage in this. In Battle of Gods, it was just like, oh, he's a god. Battle of Gods movie is just like, oh, he's a god. He's strong. He's really strong. We gotta be careful. He can beat us all up if he wanted to. But in this, it's like, oh, he's the god man. He's gonna bully us. I just like how he example is how he came up to Vegeta and then he like put when he was beating up Vegeta, when Vegeta was like, why do you have to destroy? And he's like, that's what they did in Battle of Gods 2. But in this, he knocked Vegeta on the ground and then he put his foot on Vegeta's top. It was just epic, guys. I gotta say, it was just epic. That made him seem more of a savage, and that's exactly what I want out of Beerus. I mean, that makes him more like a god. It's like, oh man, that's a real god, bro. Yeah, I like that. But however, there's one more thingy that I like. There's one thingy that I like better in Battle of Gods movie, and that is when they're doing the ritual, and then Vidal tells that she's pregnant, and then Gohan's excitement in this wasn't really that awesome like it would be in Rio. In Battle of Gods, it was like real. The emotion in Gohan was really awesome how it would look in Rio. But it was pretty cool in Super. But in Super, Gohan was not really. It didn't seem like he was that excited. He was just like, oh, no way, and oh, okay. But in Battle of Gods, he was like, no way, no freaking way. And it was just, I just like it better in that way in Battle of Gods. It made it seem real. And adding on to that, not my last, but one of my final this is one of my final. That adding on to the Vidal thingy, that when they're doing the ritual, when the transformation, adding on to that, the transformation, certainly I gotta say I like the Super one way better. And I don't know what I just liked it how they had all the weather changing. I believe there was snow, rain, hail, and then summer, and there was some sun and shining and stuff. And I don't really remember that much, but I at least remember the main details. But what I'm saying is, I like the transformation of Super Saiyan God transformation way better in Battle of Gods. In Battle of Gods, it was short, but again, it was obvious because they had more time to do this. They had more time to make the transformation long and just spread it out. But in Battle of Gods movie, it was just a movie. The whole movie was just like 1.5 hours, so they didn't really want to take that long on the transformation and wasted the time. But in this, they had like whole episodes to. I mean, of course, they didn't take the whole episode. That would be dumb. But they took like 5 minutes, which was pretty awesome. I mean, they could have done it in 3 minutes, but it was awesome. The weather changing and stuff was just awesome. And then my final thing. This is kind of hilarious, but my final thing in the end, when Beerus is about to blow up the planet. He's about to blow up the planet. Mr. Satan's like, oh, sorry, and then his call comes in. It's just hilarious, guys. I laughed the heck out of myself when Mr. Satan's phone started ringing and Beerus is like, oh. It was just funny. And in Battle of Gods, we never had that. At least I can't think of it. I don't think we had it. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I like that better. And then, okay, sorry, but there's one more thing. I know I'm making this a bit longer than I thought. One last thing adding on to the Mr. Satan and Beerus blowing up the earth. When Beerus is like about to destroy the earth and he just sleeps. I like this better than in Battle of Gods. He would just like this and then he just did the small blast and blowed up some rocks. But in this, he just slept. He wanted to destroy, but he slept, which is just crazy, man. It was hilarious. Just like even almost as hilarious as Mr. Satan's phone ringing. Maybe even as hilarious as it. Okay, guys, this has been Nine Blaster, and remember, I want you guys to comment, rate, and subscribe. Tell me your feelings down in the comments below. Tell me what you guys think. Which version do you like better, the Battle of Gods movie or the Battle of Gods Super Saga? And also, tell me if you guys are excited about episode 15. I mean, I'm excited. I'm episode 14. I'm pretty sure all of you have seen it by now, and I saw it. And when I saw the review of it, I'm really excited for Mr. Satan's Super Saiyan form. I mean, and guys, just telling you, Mr. Satan going Super Saiyan. I don't think he's really going Super Saiyan, and I'll explain that in another video. So just be hanging out on my channel, and I'll explain what Mr. Satan really is. The Super Saiyan form is not him really going Super Saiyan. I'll explain that. Okay, guys, this has been an Ambassador, and I want you guys to comment down below, comment, rate, subscribe, and like if you enjoyed this video, and if you're hyped for episode 15, because I am. Peace out.